Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Apples and Genos Fantasy Hockey Podcast. My name is Brian, and I'm here with Evan and Ryan. And in this live stream, we will be rocking a Drafters Best Ball. Here we go. I also realized I hit the outro instead of the intro, so what a way to start here, guys.
And that is all.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, everyone. No, I'm joking. I'm glad to see there's still a couple people still watching. Sorry about that.
Awesome. Welcome in, everybody. Today we are gonna get onto drafters, and we're gonna get Evan and Brian introduced to drafters. They're gonna be doing their first drafts on this $10,000 championship best ball contest. So just a little bit about this best ball format. We're on drafters, and it's a $10 entry into this championship where there's going to be 5,600 entrants who are all going against each other. What we're doing is drafting a team against 8 other people. So myself, Evan, and Brian are going to all be in one of these drafts together. And the team you draft isn't just going against those 8 people. It's going against every other possible team drafted. So 5,600 drafted teams, and you want the best possible team. And there's some prizing. First place gets $10,000. And if you finish in the top 934th, you'll win some money. So yeah, we're going to get into it. Evan and Brian, what are your thoughts on this contest, this format, getting into it today?
Looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. I think you're looking at the top 3 positions on for the grand prize here at the end. I'm hoping, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult because I know that out of those 3,800 that have already been drafted, Ryan and Nate probably compose 2,500 of them. So we're going to be up against it, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I did see Nate in a draft yesterday, and I think it was his 130th team. And I actually am up to 123 now, so I'm catching up to him, but we're both going to be capped at 150. I do plan on maxing out these entries and really going for the win here, the $10,000. I believe Nate is too. But if you're only doing a few entries, that's cool too. Last year, I only did a few entries, and I finished in the money on half of them, which turned myself some 50% return on investment, which I was pretty happy about. So even if you don't max out the entries, you can still make money. And what are you guys feeling? Are you guys going to do a few entries? Are you going to do 150? What are you feeling?
Yeah, let's be honest here. Once I get the itch for one of them, I'm probably going to want to do as many as I can. So assuming this one goes well, I'll probably be doing a couple more for sure.
Yeah, same. I don't know. I'll get quite to that 150 cap, but I'll try. I'll try and see if I can get there.
Nice. All right. So I'll get into like the format here a little bit. I don't want to join this draft because there's only 3 spots remaining, and I want to make sure we all get in the same draft to stream together. So if one of or 2 of us join, one of us might get left out. So yeah, there's 5 out of 8 there. We'll join the next one 6 out of 8 unless people drop out. But the rosters here, it's a best ball format, so you only draft your team, and then there's no lineup setting at all. I think I would pull my hair out if there was lineup setting, and I've drafted 123 teams. So yeah, it takes your top players at each position each week. So it takes your top 3 forwards, takes your top 2 defenders, your top goalie, and then 2 flex spots of forward or D. And they're usually forwards, although sometimes a third D can sneak in there. So usually 5 forwards get counted in the week out of however many you draft, usually 2 D and 1 goalie. There's 18 rounds, and a lot of people have a standard of drafting 10 forwards, 5 D, 3 goalies, but totally up to you. I think that is the safe denomination, and to veer from that, I'm making sure I have some interesting teams drafted with some like strong D that are only 4. But yeah, that's the general denomination there. And then the scoring, we have 3 points for a goal, 2 for an assist, 0.5 for a power play point, 2 for a shorthanded goal, 0.3 for a shot on goal, 0.3 for a blocked shot, and then this extra little point for overtime goals, which who knows, that's not predictable at all. But yeah, so there's no blocks here. And then the goalie points is 2 points for a win, 0.2 for a save, -1 for a goal against, and 3 for a shutout. So it does help to get a lot of starts, a lot of volume, especially in a spike week of like 3 games. You want 3 games from your goalie. What do you guys think about this scoring, this setup? Any initial thoughts so far?
Yeah, my first thought is, how on earth am I going to predict overtime goals? But I guess you can't. So other than that, I think just looking for the guys who are going to get the puck the most, who's going to have the most opportunity to score here. So I think I have a good idea where I'm going to be targeting in the first couple rounds, but it'll be curious to see how everyone else does, whatever everyone else's strategy is with this. Evan, what about you?
Yeah, the scoring looks pretty similar to one of my points leagues, so I kind of like that. The overtime one is interesting because I feel like, I don't know, Ryan, have you looked at that in terms of, there are overtime lines like, that kind of get sent out there every time. Not that would really probably help you choose between specific players, but I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's like it's a fun stat. It's similar to like game winning goals, where I think it's a fun stat to include in a league, and it's just like, boom, bonus point. I think since there's only 8 teams in this, there's going to be only 140 players around there drafted. So really, like every player drafted, every forward drafted at least has overtime minutes that they're being trotted out. You're not drafting Adam Lowry in this, although I think he gets played a shift or 2 in overtime and 3-on-3 to win those faceoffs.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You might not be drafting Lowry, but you might still be drafting Darnell Nurse. There's Dylan DeMello. Never forget about him.
That's right. They're out there.
I'm wondering if we should join up on this draft, but let's okay, there's 4 in there. Do you guys want to join up on this one right now?
I'll do that. Okay.
All right. Did you get in it?
I believe so.
Brian, I hope you got in
draft starting in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Brian, you're in it. Let's do it. Feel the thrill. You got, we're all in it. All right. We got Brian drafting at the 2nd spot. Evan, you're in the 4th spot, and I'm in the 6th spot. Brian's pick is a little lame, little boring.
Yeah,
he's just
a little boring.
He knows who he's getting. But Evan, what are you feeling about 4?
Yeah, it's interesting because there's no. That's the thing with this, is there's no separating the forwards. They're all forwards, so it's not center, left wing, so that doesn't really matter, right? I think I'll probably have to go Kucherov there if he's available. Probably between him and Makar, I would have to say. What do you think about that, Brian?
I like Kuch for sure, especially because there's only 8 people in this draft. But I don't know if I'd go to Makar, but if Kucherov's available, yeah.
Oh, wow. So we had Makar go first overall.
Well, I guess not anymore.
That's the first time I've seen that. That's the first time I've seen McDavid or McKinnon not be taken first.
That is spicy. So McDavid was at 1, McKinnon at 2, McDavid 3, Kucherov 4. Ryan, I'm curious about who you're thinking of taking here. I'm assuming that Quinn Hughes.
Wow.
Oh, interesting. All right, we got D flying off the board in this draft. Listen, I've done 120 of these drafts, and this is the first time I've seen Quinn Hughes go at 5, Cale Makar go at 1. What is happening here?
I was just going to ask if this is the norm, and it doesn't seem like it. But
no, in the first 2 rounds at least, everyone usually follows the ADP that is currently there. So usually McDavid, McKinnon, Kucherov, Makar, Matthews, Draisaitl, Kaprizov, Pasta, and then like Jack Hughes and Quinn Hughes after that.
Yeah, with the 30 seconds here, you don't have a ton of time to even get your queue set up, eh?
No.
Yeah, so we're not gonna like go over every pick. We can we'll recap, especially when it's our picks, but yeah, 30 seconds. It was pretty quick, and you do gotta really focus on what you're doing with your team here. So I took Draisaitl at 6, and then Matthews, Cap, Pasta, and Werenski go, and I can choose either Jack, one of the Jacks here. I'm going Jack Hughes or Jack Eichel. And I don't think I have many teams already with Draisaitl and Jack Hughes, so that's what I'm going to do, and that's kind of what's leading my decisions here, where I already drafted 120 teams, so I want to start to really find teams that I haven't drafted yet. So I think I might have one Draisaitl Hughes combo, and then Evan, you go Darlene with your Kucherov.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I feel like D are flying off, like you said, so got to get on board with one of the top ones here. So take Darlene at that pick. Not too unhappy about that. And then Brian, you are on the clock, and you went with Panarin to stack with McKinnon. Hedman and Yossi go. So this drafter number 1 here goes Makar, Hedman, Yossi. What kind of a strategy is that, Ryan? I'm curious.
I'm really curious if he's like gonna run 3D on his team and only 3D, because Makar, Hedman, Yossi. Honestly, Hedman and Yossi, these are reaches for me because they've been going at the in the 20 range. So he's gonna make this draft a little bit better for all of us if he keeps doing this. But yeah, 3D to start. And Brian, you go McKinnon, Panarin, Reinhardt. I really like that setup so far.
Yeah, guys, there is no time in here to even search for players or look. So I'm like, holy. I'm thinking my next pick, though. I'm looking at a defenseman if there is something of value to reach for. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to keep rocking with a couple forwards here. And Ryan, I see you go with Hellebuck. I like that. Surprise, actually. I actually do. I actually do like this because we're talking about the points, and you're only going to get 2 goalies, and he's going to give you a ton of points in this format. I'm actually surprised, given what was taken for all the defense in the second round, that he wasn't taken before that.
Yeah, I mean, with Hellebuck, he usually goes in the late second to the early third, and it's kind of like forced my hand watching so many drafts where he goes way before, like 4 picks before that, and then he goes to me at the 22nd pick. And again, looking at like Draisaitl, Hughes, and Hellebuck, this is a unique combination that I don't have yet, and I'm gonna craft a team on these top 3. And then with my 4th spot, I'm also happy that Philip Forsberg is here.
Don't do it. Do it. I absolutely do it.
But interesting thing, Forsberg, he started the first day they started, like drafters made rankings as their ADP to start, and he was like 14 or 15, and I thought that was way too high. And I think everyone else who was drafting did as well, because his ADP just keeps falling and falling and falling. And I used to take him in the 3rd round, but now I'm waiting and being able to get him in the 4th round, and I really like that. Yeah, and Evan, you have Kucherov, Darlene. You got Mitch Marner with that, which I love, and you take the big sophomore Max Celebrini there.
Yeah, I think like you said, in this format, I'm just kind of hoping that he is going to go off, like really kind of perform over his point per game pace. I don't know how likely that is this year in his sophomore season, but with the forwards that were available on the board, I kind of wanted to take like a reach pick. Call me crazy. So I went with Celebrini there. I could have gone, one of the wingers, but I think they'll be available here. So I like Celebrini quite a bit. And I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of just takes the rocket to the moon this season. Then I'll be laughing when I have that 10,000 in my pocket. And Brian's on the clock, and he goes to Sergachev. And I was kind of in a similar spot, Brian, where I was looking at the defense, and I was really wanting to go Fox or Sanderson with my pick, and I couldn't get it. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, I ran out of time. I wanted Sanderson. I didn't realize he was already taken. So with 7 seconds left, I just looked at the list of defense that was there, and I figured, okay, let me go with Sergachev here. A little bit of a reach, but I don't want to go with another forward at this point. So that's my look.
Yeah,
well, that's
Evan,
fair.
you just sniped Brat for me, so I couldn't stack him with Hughes. Shame on you.
I'm sorry about that. I was really just looking hard, and I do love Jesper Bratt, so I had to take him from you. You go with J-Rob, even though you hate Dallas, but I did hear recently you're big on J-Rob, especially compared to Rantanen. So what I'm trying to understand is you're not as low on Dallas, you're low on Rantanen.
Correct. Rantanen, he got picked. He actually fell to 21. Interesting. But he's getting picked at like 14, 15 in this format, and I will not take him there. I actually did a projection of what I think the ceiling would be for Rantanen, and like realistic ceiling, okay? And it came out to like 95 points, and I put that in these rankings for drafters, and it made him the 20th best skater. So he's like, I'm not drafting him anywhere before 20 because I think his realistic ceiling puts him right there. And yeah, the truth is I'm not that low on Dallas. I'm just low on Rantanen being drafted where he's drafted.
Man, that is that's killing me as well. That I just got sniped by this Cambo.
You're gonna take Tommy Harley, eh?
Really gonna take him. I've been seeing reports that he's going to be on the top power play, or like the early training camp was having him on the top power play, but then there was like, well, they might have both of them on there at some point. So it's still kind of muddy, but I feel a lot better about Harley potentially being power play 1. So that's kind of how I was feeling about it. But then I kind of got pressured into taking a goalie here. So I went Philip Gustafsson. I'm sure you guys have seen the reports of like the Vazzy thing. I don't really know what's going on there, but I had him in one spot in my APL league, and I'm kind of like sweating it a little bit because he's a high pick for a goalie for a lot of people.
Sorry, did I miss Vasilevsky news?
He has not reported to training camp.
Oh, interesting. Spicy.
Yeah. There's a couple of guys like that. What are your thoughts? Actually, side note, Ryan, I know you're coming up in your pick. So Evan, what do you think of? Is it your pick? It is. Evan, what do you think about Luke Hughes still not having his contract? Do you think that's going to get resolved soon?
I have to think so. I don't think New Jersey's going to, let him walk or anything like that. Like, it's going to get done. It's just a matter of when for me. And I saw some interesting quotes from Jack Hughes. I don't know if you guys saw that either, but Jack Hughes was kind of talking about it'd be really great to have my brother on the top power play. I think he has the talent to do it, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. He's getting top power play this year, boys. You heard it here first. Luke Hughes to the moon.
Yeah.
And I'm all about it.
I mean, like, that was really interesting. He said like power play, like he needs to be on power play 1 from game 1. And it's just like for Jack Hughes to say that, like, is he the coach? No, but
I agree, Jack.
He might have some pull.
You don't say.
Yeah. So a little bit of recap here for my team. I was not able to stack Brat, so I went with J-Rob, and then I went Marty Nietzsche in round 6, and then Barkov in round 7, and then I got sniped. I was going to go Mackenzie Weegar, but now I got to pivot a bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Seth Jones here to stack with Barkov. And yeah, I needed some D here. I was very happy to get Jones with Barkov. I like stacking in this format. It's the spike weeks you're after, and really you just want correlation on your team. So if Barkov is going to have an insane year and maybe potentially win me this thing, Jones is going to be along for the ride on power play 1 there. So I like stacking to get some correlation, although I don't necessarily want to reach too far on players just to complete the stack. So Seth Jones, his ADP was 61. I took him at 59. I'm good with that. Evan, how you liking your team? You went Gustafsson after Bratt, and then JT Miller, and then Luke Hughes in round 8 to stack with Bratt.
I love how you say you don't want to reach to stack, and I did exactly that because we just talked about it, and I am a big believer that Luke Hughes is going to do it, and I kind of like that. Bratt and Luke Hughes, get that top power play locked in. Yeah, I just there's no other defenseman. I was going to go Seth Jones, but I just wanted to get my second one locked in there. So I don't feel that bad about it, to be honest, because even though it's a reach in terms of his ADP, I think he's going to perform there. And then Brian, you went Chikrin and Michkov. Really great pick with Michkov there.
I thought the Mishkov pick is a good value pick at this point. Again, I think I missed the high end defenseman, so I just want to get a couple of guys who might still be on the power play, put up some goals, and I know that I'll get that with Chikrin at least.
Yeah. And then, I went with the triple stack, Nico Hischier. So I got Hischier, Bratt, and Luke Hughes. So Ryan's a little upset because he now only has Jack Hughes from that top power play.
Yeah, that's all right. I did a little Florida stack, and you can have those players above their ADP. But yeah, I do want to let you know, Timo Meier, if you are going to take Timo Meier to stack it as well, like I've seen him go super late. I've seen him go in the last 3 rounds. So like, I don't think you need to reach Timo Meier before his ADP, but don't let me tell you how to draft your team here. I went with Seth Jarvis in round 9. I like his value there, and I really got to get another defenseman. They flew off the board, so I'm going to reach a little bit with Erik Karlsson at the 75 spot, 5 spots ahead of his ADP. Brian, what are you thinking for your team? You liking it? You got 2 pretty great goalies. You got Dustin Wolf at 47 and Shesterkin at 50. I'm really surprised Shesterkin fell to you after Dustin Wolf. What are you thinking?
Yeah, normally I don't want to pick up 2 goalies, but they like all the top ones kind of went pretty early here. I mean, actually looking at this, I can't believe Blackwood went in the 10th round. I'm liking my forward so far. I'm happy with that. Not too happy with my D. But I think from this point on, I'm just going to see what kind of value I can get from this point on, which is why I kind of went with DeBrincat. I think that's a good value pick at this time in the 10th round. And Evan, you went with Marchenko. I like that.
Yeah, really like Kirill Marchenko. I think he's the one that drives the offense there in Columbus, so I'd like to get a piece of that as well. And then you go with Dylan Larkin and DeBrincat, nice little Red Wing stack there. I'm never going to hate on that. Coming up on my pick too, yeah, all the defensemen are gone essentially, so I feel like I'm kind of done there. For now, I'm trying to look at some of these forward values that I have, and I think that I'm gonna have to keep going back. There's no great stack options for me at the ADP currently, but I am gonna go with my boy Alex Tuck. I still think he's gonna get that top power play as we've seen in training camp lines. So I'm excited to get him there, see how he can do for me. Yeah, looking at the teams, I feel like I don't have a ton of stacks outside of the New Jersey. Brian, yours is looking decent, especially your top 3 picks, or really 4 picks. I mean, those are absolutely smash picks. Solidifying your goalies. Yeah, I'm really liking your team. And let's see, I'm looking at Ryan's team here too now. And yeah, I think they both did a good job here. And he goes Morgan Riley with 3rd defenseman. Ryan.
Wow. Yeah. We got some confirmation that they're not running a 5-forward power play in Toronto, and Morgan Riley will quarterback that top unit, and we've seen he's able to have great success at that role in the past, just not last year, because they decided that they'd run a 5-forward power play. So yeah, Morgan Riley, really like him here as my 3rd defender. I got Seth Jones, Erik Karlsson, and Morgan Riley. And yeah, it's coming up here, and I'm going to have to go with my boy, Kevin Fiala. I've been able to get him, pick 99, pick 100 in some of these drafts, but for this team, I just want to get my guy. He's one of my most owned players on my teams. Not most of my teams, but he is one of my most owned players, and I really like what Fiala can do this year.
I just don't understand this. I got sniped into oblivion. I did not think that was going to happen. We got news that Joseph Full is on a personal leave from Toronto, and so I was going to go with Anthony Stolarz. We don't know really the details of that, but I don't know. I'm thinking that Stolarz was going to be a great pick for my 2nd goalie there, and got absolutely sniped. So then I go with Mika Zibanejad, who may have been a reach here, but I like the stack with JT Miller because I do believe in the Rangers this year, and they are going to be a big part of that line, that power play. So yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, and I've watched his ADP just skyrocket since the start of this thing. Like, it went from 120, and then the next week it was 110. And what is it now? Oh, it might be around 110 now. Maybe he's settling in.
Yeah, I think he is settling in, but I really do. I think he really hit his floor last year. I think that was the worst it can get. And I think that the addition of JT Miller, we saw what he was doing once he came to the team with his line. So I really think they can cook this year, and that top power play, getting back to it. He really still is a great like offensive generator. Like when you watch him, if he can get his finish and his power play points back up, sign me up for 70-point plus Zibanejad.
Yeah.
And Zeev Bouillon goes too. Man, this is not going well. This is not going well for me, guys.
Well, Brian, I guess with drafting with you two, since you guys like good players and drafting good players, I can't wait and complete my stack. So you steal Rupe Hintz. I was hoping to get Hintz at 102 to stack with Robertson, but yeah, I was getting greedy there, trying to get him to fall. So I got Brandon Montour. He's dropping to me. His ADP is 90, and I'll take him at 102. Brian, Rupe Hintz, you took him from me. How do you like him?
I like Rupe Hintz if I'm getting him this late. I just think at some point in the season, I know Dallas was moving lineups a little bit more, and Rantanen and Robertson are back on that line with him. I think that's going to be their lineup for most of the year. I know that they're trying things out in training camp, but I love the fact that he's in between Robertson and Rantanen. I think he's going to get some, secondary assists or whatever, but that's going to translate to some points, and I'm all here for it in the 13th round. So.
Right on. I agree with you there. And then Evan, you go Charlie McAvoy. You got 3D now. Dahlin, Luke Hughes, and McAvoy. Are you going to aim for 5, do you think?
We'll see how it goes. It's tough because there's not a ton left available, and guys like Zeev Bouillon going, like, it's tough. I mean, it's not like a normal draft where some of these guys are available in the later rounds, but yeah, I'll have to look at that for sure. This one's pretty easy for me. Tomas Hertl's still sitting here at the 100 spot. I think he's going to be a staple on the top power play. So I like Tomas Hertl at that value. And Brian's coming up on his pick. You went with UC Saros, Ryan. I've seen you take him in a few spots here. Are you thinking he gets back to what he was in terms of his elite goalie status this year with Nashville?
I'm not going to make that call. That's for sure. Last year I got burned on UC Saros. I thought I was smart and being like, yep, I'm going to predict goalies, and I'm going to make a stand here and say that UC Saros is going to be the top goalie in like cupful settings, APL settings, and like those volume settings, because I just thought he was going to get like 63 starts and be an average, better than average goalie, but he was not a better than average goalie 2 years in a row. And but I still think he is good to get at least close to 60 starts, and that will turn into at least a few spike weeks where he goes on stretches of 3 games in a week, and could really be a nice addition to my Hellebuck, where if Hellebuck has one bad week, I hope that the timing lines up where Saros that is one of his good weeks.
I like that. And you're coming up on your pick, so I'll kind of comment on the direction of my team. What we're going to see here, gentlemen, is that Washington is not only going to do as good as they did last year, they're going to overperform yet again. And Logan Thompson is going to be one of the best goalies in the league, so I go with him there at my second. I have to hope that Luke Hughes is on the top power play from day one, and the Devils explode, and that Washington is going to kind of repeat last year if my team has a shot at the 10,000. Ryan, I know you think that those things are possible.
Yes, they are definitely all possible, but those are a lot of bold takes all on one team, I think. But there's been crazier things that have happened.
My team at this point, Brian, has gone off the rails, so I kind of have to take some of these hot takes with me to the grave as my team's kind of getting into this weird spot. But I am liking some of Ryan's pick here. Carter Verhaeghe, really good. Nuge following. Mm-hmm. Ryan, talk to me about Nuge. I'm curious to see like how he really does this year. He's one of the more interesting picks to me.
Yeah, definitely in this format on the teams where I get Draisaitl or McDavid more so because I think Nuge is going to play with McDavid, but I'm really happy to get Nuge in these last few rounds to stack with those Oilers superstars. I think there could be a bounce back for Nuge. I think the Oilers in general could bounce back a bit to their elite level. Maybe McDavid and Draisaitl get back to close to 140 points. Who knows? But if that's the case and they're on my team, I want Nuge there to, ride alongside them and be able to pick up plenty of points and plenty of spike weeks. Yeah, and then Verhaeghe before that. I'm stacking Verhaeghe with Barkov. I'm hoping Barkov stays healthy, and I got Seth Jones there too. What about you guys? Have you? So Evan, I see you're on a Rangers stack and a New Jersey stack. That's interesting. Brian, have you stacked any of these guys on your team? Anyone from the same team?
Yeah, I got Larkin to DeBrincat.
Nice, that's good.
I'm okay with that. I didn't realize we're also coming right up to the end here, so I just grabbed another goalie. But I like getting Binnington this late in the draft. I'm okay with that. It's crazy how fast this goes. It's just flying by. Like 30 seconds feels like 10.
Yep, I feel you there. Yeah, and then like when it hits 15 seconds, it turns red, and you're like, oh my god. But yeah. Definitely a lot to get used to. So, Evan, you got 11 forwards, 4D, and 2 goalies. You got another pick. Is it going to be a defenseman or a goalie?
I think it is going to be a defenseman. It's tough because of the options available, but if one of my 2 guys are left, I'm going to go with that. Just because I feel like, my forwards are pretty good. I've gotten who I've wanted, and some of the remaining options I don't really feel like as confident in to really take my team to the next level here. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what goes. And so they're taking the D that I have no interest in, so that's perfectly fine. You can keep Davon Taves as your is that a Cale Makar handcuff for it?
No, he'll get some points on there, and it's the last round. I want to see who you're taking here. Noah Hannafin. Okay.
So it's interesting. I'm a big Shea Theodore guy. I love Shea Theodore last year, and he's going to get that top power play this year. However, he will, 2 games into the season, trip on the ice and go down, and Noah Hannafin will take over the top power play the rest of the year. Then I got Hurdle and Hannafin on the top power play. So those things.
There you go. Yeah, and on this team as well, I'm going to click on your team here. You have just 2 goalies, which I think is a little risky, but it's Philip Gustafson and Logan Thompson. We're hiding your goalies there, but if you're on YouTube, but yeah, your scenario here is Logan Thompson gets 60 starts for the Caps because Charlie Lindgren, I don't know what happens to him. I think slips and falls on his way down to the ice. And you got Noah Hannafin because Shea Theodore is going to miss 80 games. He's only going to play the first 2, I hear. So that's good. And I actually really like your Rangers stacks here. JT Miller is Zibanejad. They've been practicing on the same line in training camp. So I do really like that. And then you got Vinny Tro. They should all play on the top power play unit. So I really like that. And then your Heischer, Bratt, and Luke Hughes stack, top power play as well.
That's a mighty stack.
I think you got a really interesting team here. Couple of notes.
Dahlin too.
Yeah.
A little mini stack there.
Oh, Tuck and Dahlin. Yeah. Very nice. All right. Very stacky. So in my opinion, I think your 2 goalies might hurt you if it doesn't work out perfectly, but it might work out perfectly. But again, killer team. Now
if I win the 10,000 with this, we got to come back to this episode and I'll have a good laugh.
Yeah. Now I want you to take a look at Brian's team and tell me what you think.
Let me take a look here. So Brian's team.
Wait. Let me get the notebook for critiquing. Go ahead. All right, I'm ready.
I mean, the first 4 picks to me are like insane. Like McKinnon, Panarin, Reinhart, Keller. Really like that. He went with the Utah stack. Keller, Sergachev. I really like. He takes your boy Dustin Wolf and Shesterkin. I think that's a great goalie stack. And he did go with 3 goalies with Dustin Wolf, Shesterkin, and Bennington. So smarter there. Chychrun at this spot. I don't know how I feel about that. I really do like the player. I just hate that John Carlson's still there to kind of limit his power play exposure. But Michkov, DeBrincat, Larkin in like those mid to later rounds, really good stuff. Rupe Hintz, Kadri, Brian Rust, really good players. Yeah, not as stacky as me. He's got the Red Wing stack, and then he's got the Utah stack. And outside of that, I don't think any
The
other
Washington
stacks.
stack, both defense.
Oh, you took John Carlson. I didn't even see that. Well, there you
That's
go.
an
Well,
interesting one.
either way, it's going to work out for you power play wise. Maybe they'll do that like they did last year where they put both of them on the top power play. So it's certainly possible that way. And you know what? I need them to do well for Logan Thompson to get his points.
There you go. You need it. Yeah. So we're on the same page.
There you go.
I really like your team. Superstar stack team there, Brian.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah, great job. I think Sergachev, 34th overall. I think you could have got him one round later and then squeezed even a better defenseman in there, or just another top forward. So I'm hating on your team a bit there. And as much as I love Dustin Wolf, you took him as the 5th goalie off the board. So that is a hot take. You did grab Shesterkin right after, so you could say they're similar, but Dustin Wolf is the 5th best goalie. Is that what you're seeing this year?
Absolutely. The guy's a stud. Mika Kiprusoff 2.0. No, I don't know. That's definitely a gamble. I think he has the talent. I don't know if he has the team in front of him. Again, I think if I had a little bit longer, I would, reevaluate my decisions, but I'm still okay with it because I also got Shesterkin to follow. But looking at like the draft here, I also Bobrovsky went later, Blackwood went later, Gustafsson. No, that was right before Dustin Wolf. Like, there's still a couple other goalies that I really should be taking under consideration first, but it's okay.
Yeah, I think that like Sorokin here at 83, I think he has a similar case as Dustin Wolf this year. He's shown he could be really good and he is on a mid team, I would say, but he should get the bulk of the starts. I like Aiden Hill, I like Juuse Saros, and then in the last few rounds, I even like Vemelka, my buddy Carol.
What are your thoughts, Ryan, on Markstrom? Just as a goalie, I know he's been slipping a lot in drafts. I've seen a couple of drafts where he's not, like, shallower leagues. He's not even being drafted, but he's still their starting goalie. Like, what are your thoughts on Markstrom?
Yeah, in my opinion, like, he's not dropping late enough for me to be taking him, and I would definitely take him in the range of Demko, Skinner, Swayman, Vemelka, Binnington. That's kind of where I have him ranked. I think he's just been an inconsistent goalie year to year, but also in year, like week to week. He gets his hot streaks and then he gets his really cold streaks, and that's just a goalie that I think they just signed Jake Allen to too long of a contract for his age, I think. So I think Jake Allen will still get plenty of starts there, and it limits the upside volume for Markstrom.
So I guess Ryan or Evan, like, let me ask you guys this: in this kind of format, would you be targeting more so goalies that have the most quality start weeks? Like, you're looking at a Darcy Kemper. Is that your strategy with this?
Evan, do you have a strategy yet?
Clearly, as I went with Logan Thompson. No, I think I would say that I'm going for the goalies that are going to get the best like stats, essentially, that I think on that team for the week, that they can rack up those points. I don't know, Ryan, what do you think about it? Yeah,
I'm targeting volume starters, like pretty much primarily. I want I don't want goalies who might be in a timeshare, because if there's 3 games in a week and it's a timeshare and your goalie's only playing one of those games, that like your goalie's not going to put up enough points with that one game. Or if there's 4 games a week and it's a timeshare, they're only going to get 2. And again, they're not going to be competing with Juuse Saros, who probably will get all 3 in a week, maybe even all 4 if there's no back-to-back, but I would say 3. Or Hellebuck, Vasi, Ottinger, Wolf, Gustafsson, Shesterkin. Like, that's why all these goalies are going early, because their volume is pretty locked in, where they're going to have those weeks where they get possibly 4 starts, but likely 3, and then you have down here Stolars. Wall is away from the team, so I see why Stolars is getting up there. But before that, it's a timeshare, and they would probably split games. And similar situation with, I think, Logan Thompson, where last year they had a timeshare with Charlie Lindgren getting a lot of starts, even though Logan Thompson was like competing for the Vezina at times.
He was
Charlie
way
Lindgren
better.
was still going out there every other game. Yeah, that's what I think.
I think if they want to win games this year, they'll treat them a little differently. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it may be more of like a 60-40 type situation. Like it's not a clear number one. But like I said, you never know what's going to happen to Charlie Lindgren. We wish him the best of health. But and then we got Michael bringing up a comment here. Since it's best overall, wouldn't it be beneficial to get 8 guys and just stack one team? Ryan, what are your thoughts on that? Well, then if that one team only plays 2 games in a week or something, like, I don't know, it doesn't seem like, or if it's just like, say it is even a good team and they have a bad game, then you have no points. You got to have some diversity, right?
Yeah, I think that is way too much on the stacking front, because even if it's the top scoring team and you get all, let's say Tampa Bay is the top offensive team again this year, and you get Kucherov, Point, Gensel, Hedman, Vasi, Hagel, that's probably all the players that will get drafted here. But if you have all of them, that would be, pretty boomer bust, where, you are gonna, like, on those spike weeks that Tampa is absolutely crushing it, that might happen like only 20% of the time. You're gonna reap the benefits, but then you're stuck where you're missing out on so many other players in the league. And if Tampa has a bad week, your team's gonna have just a dreadful week. So I prefer the mini stacks where you kind of go with 2 or 3 from a team, maybe 4 if it includes like a goalie. But yeah, that's what I think. Brian, what about you? Would you take a 5 team stack?
I would not, and I don't think that that's the way to win $10,000, and that's why we're here, gentlemen. That's why we're here today. No, I think that's too much of a risk. Yeah, to both your points, if your team has 2 games that week, like, you're shooting yourself in the foot when it comes to points. I do love the idea of having a mini stack, though. Maybe it's a center in the left wing or whoever. They play a lot of minutes together. They put up a lot of points. That's why I like Jack Eichel, Jesper Bratt. They play together. Like stuff like that, I'm a big fan of. But for the most part, I think at most 3 for a stack, nothing more than that for me, because then there's just too much risk associated with it.
Okay, I'm rereading this guy's comment, and I think he's not talking about stacking 8 players from one team. I think he's talking about actual collusion. He's saying, since it's best overall, wouldn't it be beneficial to get 8 guys, like 8 of your friends, in one draft and just stack one of the teams? And so that would be collusion. That would be against everything that I stand for in competing in fantasy hockey. It's cheating, and shame on you for even thinking of that. But I'm sure people think about that, and I've definitely been like worried about that drafting in some of these drafts where it's like, okay, yeah, what if that happens? And someone goes like McDavid, McKinnon in the 2nd round, Makar in the 3rd round, and just gets all their friends to like punt the draft. But I have looked into their like rules, and drafters will cancel a draft if it is deemed a bad draft. So they will review things, and all of these drafts are public, so you can go click on like the winning team from last year and you can see what his draft was. And I'm sure if that collusion did occur, it would be pretty obvious from the draft, and it would be canceled. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that, and definitely not thinking of doing that, because that ain't cool in my opinion.
So the real question is, for the winner last year, it has to be like it is with a lot of these sometimes. We put all this thought and effort into it. Ryan, you're in the hundreds of drafts. The person who won was someone's significant other that knows nothing about hockey, that just loaded in and randomly selected the best team and won $10,000.
It's like March Madness.
Yeah. So you see how each, like, you can see this is my 124th team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then on you guys, this is your first draft, so you don't have a number. This is his 57th. The winner, it was like the username and then a 2. So it was his 2nd draft.
Yep.
So that's what I want to say here. And that's what I want to say. And I think we should I think we should get in another one here, and maybe, just
All right.
maybe, either of you guys' second draft will be the winner. So let's take a. So yeah, anything so yeah, let's get into this next one here. There's only 1 out of 8, so join the fast draft.
All right.
Fast draft.
So yeah, anything you're gonna do now with the pressure on to get your second team as the complete winner?
Taking Hellebuck in the second round, boys. No, I won't do that. But no, I think I'm going to try to get a defense, like a better defenseman earlier, so that I'm not reaching for my first defenseman. Because I feel like I had to reach, or else I was going to miss out on all the top defensemen, even like the top 10, 15 defensemen. So yeah, that's my strategy. Evan, does yours differ?
No, I was just hoping not to get sniped every other pick, because then I had to, within 30 seconds and no cue, try and panic pick. And, I think I could have made some different picks there, but there were parts of my team I really liked. But yeah, it's just some there. I didn't feel like it was the best perfect team. But that's kind of why you probably do more and more of these, right, Ryan? That's the thought. The more you draft, the better you get at it.
Yeah. And don't mind me, I've got a slow pick with 30 minutes left, so I gotta figure it out. Maybe you guys can help me here. So I have a team. This is a slow draft. I got McKinnon, Aline, Marner, Adam Fox, Matt Boldy, JT Miller, Tom Harley, Chikrin, Michkov, Raymond Marchenko, Zibanejad, Fiala, Eriksson Ek, and Dosta. So I have a couple of stacks: Mini, Dosta, Minnesota, Boldy, and Ek, Zibanejad, Fox, and Miller. Yeah, that's it with the stacking front, and I have 10 forwards already drafted. So with my goalies, Dostal is my only goalie, so I'll definitely take 3 goalies. And then my D, I have Darlene, Fox, Harley, and Chikrin. I'm really happy with those top 4 D, and I'm going to keep it as 4D. So with my remaining 3 picks, I'm going to go 2 goalies and a forward. With the forward here, I am thinking of, so I have Marchenko, and I honestly think, like, if Marchenko pops off, it's going to be with Sean Monahan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick Monahan here because I've seen him go in like the last round of drafts, but I think that's what I'm thinking. It's either Monahan or Fantilli for me at this point. What do you guys think? Should I do Monahan or Fantilli? I am going to look at some goalies here and just take probably Swayman, but with my forward, Fantilli or Monahan, what do you think?
I have an opinion. Evan, what do you think?
That's hard because I feel like you're really big on Fantilli, Ryan. I feel like you probably have him in a decent amount of spots already. And I'm assuming you don't have as much of Monahan. The question is, like, Monahan's, like, kind of what we expect his average to be versus Fantilli if he truly does go off. I feel like the upside for Fantilli is so high. The safer pick is Monahan. I think if you want to go the safe pick, he's going to, I think, start the season to play with Marchenko. I think that's a great stack. I think if you're looking to shoot for the moon, Fantilli's the play. But I would have to assume you have a lot of Fantilli and not a lot of Monahan is what I'm thinking you're thinking.
All right. You know what? I actually disagree. I think you should go with Fantilli. Reason being, I'm looking at, like, this is the best ball, so you're going to be stuck with him the whole season. Monahan, look at his health over the last 5-6 seasons. Has he played 82 games, 54, 39, 49, 25, 65. I think safer bet is go with Fantilli with the hopes that there's a breakout.
All right. I appreciate both those. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I took Jeremy Swayman here. But yeah, this next pick, I'll take one of those guys. With the Monahan, like Evan, you're right. I have a lot of Fantilli already, but not to like stack with Marchenko. With Monahan, it's more of like he's on a line with Marchenko, and he likely will be. And so Marchenko's spike weeks will probably result in Monahan spike weeks. Where Fantilli, he's the better player in my opinion. He's more talented. He could score more goals. He could just be all around better. But his well, there's a cool moth over there outside my window making all that noise over here. Sorry about those clicks. Might be a grasshopper. Yeah.
Ryan's
Anyways.
under attack when he's trying to draft here.
Yeah, off topic. But yeah, thanks for your help. Well, how are we doing here with this lobby? It looks like we need 2 more. Okay, I hear you, grasshopper. Relax.
He's telling you to pick Monahan.
Yeah, you think?
I can hear it. He can hear it in the chirp of his wings.
One more drafter to come in here, and then we'll get started on getting Evan or Brian a winning team.
Love that. Yeah, I mean, this will really reel me in if I can get the 10,000 from my second team, just like last year that person did.
Evan, are you taking Cale Makar first overall?
Yeah, I was hoping you would say that. No, I will be taking Nady Mack first overall.
Yeah. Shocker.
A lot of people, still, I know we've discussed this ad nauseum, but a lot of people still back and forth on the McDavid McKinnon. I think in one of my leagues coming up here, points league, with some of my buddies, the first overall guy has declared for McDavid, which I don't think, again, it's two sides of the same coin, but I think McKinnon's proven it, and I don't want to be on the disappointed side of McDavid not getting back to what we expect. So I go McKinnon, and then we'll see. You are at the end here, Brian, so you're going to have some tough decisions back-to-back 30-second picks. That'll be fun for you.
I can't wait.
So you go McKinnon, McDavid.
Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. Sam?
Makar.
We're going to have to do a well check on Ryan, send somebody over to make sure this grasshopper didn't take him out.
Yeah, almost.
So we got McKinnon, McDavid, Makar, Kucherov, and now Ryan is on the clock.
Draisaitl.
That's quite the cough you have there, Brian.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to clear my throat.
I think he's trying to decide Kaprizov. Oh, yeah. Who are you trying to decide between, Ryan? Or can you say?
I was trying to decide between Draisaitl and Matthews. I went with Draisaitl just because Matthews, his ADP is like 5, and so I don't have a lot of Austin Matthews because I have him ranked at 8. And yeah, like his ceiling case, he'll be a top 3 skater. So maybe I should have gone Matthews just to get a little bit more exposure, but I just think Draisaitl has a higher ceiling. And yeah, if all goes right, it's Draisaitl over Matthews. And then Brian, you get blessed with another Quinn Hughes reacher, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Love to see it. Love to see it. I'm glad I got the my hope was to get one of the top defensemen. I got Zach Werenski. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, so Quinn Hughes got taken at 7, and then Kaprizov goes at 8. Again, Kaprizov has been going at 7 in almost every draft, so I think you got lucky there at the 8 spot, and you didn't need to take Pasta. And then you go Cap Werenski, and then Jack Hughes falls to me again. So I'm doing another Draisaitl Hughes team. This time, I'll just later in the draft, I'll make some picks to make sure it's not the same team as the last draft. Maybe Evan won't snipe Jesper Bratt for me now that he's at the front, and 33 might be a little too high for Jesper Bratt. And then Evan goes McKinnon number 1, and he rounds it out with a Panarin pick. And
this one is tough, but I think I have to be safe here again. So I took Dahlin in the other draft, and I was thinking about taking Yossi, but I have Yossi in a few other spots, even though this isn't like a managed type league. But I like Dahlin, and I think he's just a safer pick at this point. And I think his ceiling is close to what Yossi can be, to be honest with you. So I do like Dahlin. Did anyone see that clip of Dahlin absolutely walking? I think they were playing Columbus preseason, and he was at the blue line. He put it through the guy's legs at the blue line, just so smooth. I mean, Dahlin is absolutely filthy. Yeah. And Cam goes Hellebuck here third, and then let's see. So Ryan's on the clock. Hellebuck, Kyle Connor, Braden Point got taken after I took Dahlin. He goes with Sam Reinhart. That's a pretty good 1-2-3 with Draisaitl, Hughes, Sam Reinhart, and then the draft after him goes Matthews, Pasta, Nylander. That's a really good stack too with that Toronto.
Yeah, I also think that's like a unique top three because Pasta, he doesn't usually fall to 11. So I don't think there's a lot of Matthews and Pasta teams, to be honest. And then to be able to stack Nylander on top of that, I think this might be like just a unique top three that we might not see in the whole contest, to be honest.
And Brian, you go with the stack yourself too. So you went Philip Forsberg with your third round pick, and then fourth you go Boldy. So you got Cap Boldy going on.
Yeah, I'm loving that. Yeah, I got Cap with the 1, Boldy with the 4. I'm actually very much happy to have the pick at the turn there. It's looking really nice so far, but we'll see how it pans out from this point on.
Yeah, I love the Cap Boldy stack. I know they practiced. They may have done one practice on the same line, and that just got me so excited for Matt Boldy this year.
And you go Hedman, Ryan. I feel like you had you there. He was kind of the last of that tier of defensemen for you.
Yeah, to be honest, I actually have Sanderson in that tier right above Hedman. But since this is my 125th draft, I've drafted a lot more Sanderson than Hedman, so I just want to differentiate a bit here.
I like it.
Yep. And then you go Adam Fox to be your second defender to go with Dahlin. And that's like a really good one too. And then you go Marty Necas, 33. I've been able to get him later, but I really back taking Marty Necas in the 5th round here anywhere because I just think he has so much upside playing with McKinnon. And if you're going to stack him with McKinnon, like you got to reach for him.
Yeah. And that's kind of exactly what I did. So I have McKinnon stacked with Necas, and then I've got Panarin and Fox. So I'm feeling pretty good about those mini stacks. When you have stacks of like potentially some of the 2 best teams in the league, 2 best power plays, I'm assuming they're going to be coming into this year. I'm really happy about it. Yeah. Like you said, I had to reach. There were some much better individual players available still, but I really wanted that stack. And I didn't really feel like going with, somebody else. I could have gone Brat, but I left them for you this time so you could get them with you. So you're welcome, Ryan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You won't be doing the New Jersey stacks this team.
And Brian's on the clock. But yeah, so you have Draisaitl, Jack Hughes, Sam Reinhart, Victor Hedman, and Jesper Bratt. Still really good. I wish, maybe I should be looking into some more 8-team leagues just in general so we can have these super teams.
Yeah, like every team looks crazy the first like 5 rounds. And I think that's what makes these drafts so exciting and honestly so addicting. And like I've done 125. I'm not tired of doing them at all because with the 8-man draft, like you're just making a killer team every time and that you're super excited about.
Absolutely. And then Ryan's coming up on his pick. Michael again says the Oilers are starting the season with McDavid and Dry on the top line together. Does that change your projections? For me, no, because they kind of do that all the time throughout the year where they'll put those 2 together, especially when they need a goal or need a spark or something. But I think there'll be times where they're split up again to even out the scoring between the lines. So yeah, it doesn't change it for me personally.
Evan, I don't know if you saw it, but they interviewed Draisaitl about that, and Draisaitl answered with, "Come on, guys, we answer this every single year for the past 10 years. Knobloch does this because it's easier to coach us on the same line, but we're going to get switched up as the season goes on."
Yep. No, I am. I'm not too worried about that. Let's see now. Question for me is.
They get played a lot together, even though like the starting lineup isn't like that. In the 3rd period, if they're down, Knobloch would like put them together for a lot of that period, I think, especially the later half of the period. So yeah, that's just what they do. They play together sometimes and really only when it matters. And then they leave the 3rd and 4th line on the bench.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here, and I think I am going to really kind of buy into this now. So I went with Mackenzie Blackwood. So I'm going really heavy Colorado, really heavy New York. And so I go McKinnon with Necas, and then I grab Blackwood as my goalie, And then for the Rangers, I've got Panarin, Fox, and JT Miller. So I am really buying into the double stack there. Ryan, you go with Barkov yet again. What do you think about the heavy double stack there?
Yeah, I mean, so you got already 3 from Colorado and 3 from New York. That's really interesting. I think with these bigger stacks, one thing that I have been doing, which it's like pretty in depth. I've been looking at the schedule. I've been breaking down the teams because like it's weekly scoring in this. I've been breaking down really when teams have the max amount of games in a week. So it's usually 4 games in the week. There's some weeks where it's like a weird week and it's 6, so the last week is 6 as well. But yeah, so looking at the teams with these max game weeks is really interesting and how they line up against each other. So that's something I've been incorporating a little bit more. Utah has the most amount of max game weeks at 13. But if you're like looking at when those occur, their max game weeks occur on the same weeks as like a lot of other teams, where New York is actually an interesting one where their max game weeks are pretty unique. One of them being week 1, where they play 4 games and no other team plays 4 games. So I think in week 1 on this team, you might be reaping the rewards of New York. And yeah, so it's an interesting thing to look at. It definitely takes some work. I do have a sheet I made, and yeah, that's a little in depth, but yeah, what do you guys think about that?
No, that's crazy cool that you have it that dialed in. Yeah, no, I mean, I really like it. I do. I think it'll be interesting to see because yeah, a lot of that plays into how well each team is going to do like that. I am going to be really happy after the first week. I'm going to win the league after the first week, though, and that's it.
Yeah. E-Dangler number 2. You're going to be in the lead after week 1.
And I'm just going to screenshot that, and that's going to be the end of it.
Yeah. And Brian, you got a nice mini stack, and you got Cider to Brinkat. I like that. And then you took Jones to make sure that I can't stack Seth Jones with Barkov and Reinhart.
That's right.
Great defense.
Good on you there. Yeah, we're not doing each other any favors here. You gotta make your team the best team possible.
No collusion here.
Evan was your enemy in the last one. I'll be your enemy in this one, and then we'll see how it goes the next one. No, I'm realizing again, the top D go early, and like I don't want to be stuck with a defenseman that isn't going to give me a lot of points here because they do go so quickly. But again, there's so many good forwards that you also want to take. I don't know. There's a lot to take into consideration when you're doing this. Like when do you pick goalie realistically? When do you keep driving with the forwards? It's tough to make the call here, but it's been fun so far. Yeah,
I'm debating here between I might do a Dougie Hamilton team here because like I honestly believe Luke Hughes will be on that top power play and Dougie Hamilton will, his value will drop a lot, but his ADP on here is 61, and that's just made me not be able to draft him at all. Like I think I have him on 2 other teams of my 125, so he went down to a nice 69, and I will take him there and have Hughes, Bratt, and Hamilton. And this will be the team where Luke Hughes, maybe he holds out all season and doesn't play all year. And Dougie Hamilton is a 70-point defenseman.
I think what really worries me about Dougie Hamilton is what Sheldon Keefe did to his minutes last year. It was kind of insane to me, and he didn't really give a great answer. And it was funny because I traded Dougie Hamilton last year when that started happening. And one of my friends who was one of the only ones who vetoed the trade was just crying out to the league saying, people, what are you seeing here? Dougie's only getting 18 minutes. I'm listening to NHL radio. He's done. But, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out. I'd much rather take the ride on Luke Hughes getting that top power play. You want to make Jack Hughes happy. And if they're going to get Quinn over there, they got to showcase how they can play all the Hughes brothers together. Yeah, if Jack doesn't get his way, he might request a trade, so you don't want that. I don't know. I think the only thing that would give me pause for concern, because, Evan, that's a really good point, the fact that Dougie Hamilton didn't really get much even strength time last year, like at all. I didn't realize how little he was actually on the ice.
throughout the year. But I think the longer the contract dispute goes on with Luke Hughes, the longer Dougie Hamilton will have to be on the ice, top power play, whatever that looks like. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how much Luke Hughes is affected by not having a training camp, by sitting out. We know it's affected players in the past. Like, he's young. I'm sure he can bounce back pretty quick. But yeah, just very interesting.
You know what? Just because I'm so entrenched in this argument / discussion, I'm going to go with Luke Hughes.
I love it.
Nice. And yeah, so that's your third D. You got Darlene Fox and Luke Hughes. I think if you get like another strong D with your next pick, that would be where I would consider like a 4D team. But I think if you continue to go some more forwards, I would go 5D. But what are you thinking there for your construction, Evan?
Yeah, I kind of am listening to your sage advice, Ryan. I'm trying to get some more defensemen, more goalies locked up here, and so I'm not stuck with a Logan Thompson pick again, even though I do believe in him. So yeah, I think I probably will look at a better D here if they're still on the board coming back around. Erik Karlsson just won, so that's interesting. What about, so someone just took Matthew Tkachuk, so I feel like you just can't do that, right, Ryan, like in this format?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They said that he's out till at least December. And again, I did a little ceiling projection of like, okay, if he's back on December 1st, then he's going to be playing, I forget, but I think it was around 52 games or something like that. And I did some like pretty ceiling projections for him with, everything going well. And I think I had him getting like over a point per game, like 5 or 6 points over a point per game. But still, like in the grand scheme of things, with those games missed, he's missing so much of your season where it's going to be a big hole in your best ball team, and he's not going to be providing you the opportunity to get those spike week points in all those games he's missing. And even when he's back, your players like that, they're only getting those spike weeks like 60% of the time. So I think Tkachuk, for me, it's like a last 2 round kind of pick, in my opinion.
I like that. I like that take.
I've just been avoiding Tkachuk. I've learned my lesson with picking up guys and putting them on the IR. If they're going to be out for a little while. Like, I was big on Landeskog coming back last year. I used one of my last round picks there, but never ended up playing till the playoffs. Like, I don't know. I think it's just you can just get so much more value instead of using a pick. And then in a best ball scenario, like, realistically, do we know firmly when Tkachuk's coming back? Not really. So, yeah, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah. And Ryan, as he like goads me into like, are you going to take another defenseman? Takes exactly who I wanted at this point, Morgan Riley. So great job there, Ryan. That announcement that Ruben made about, they're going to have him quarterbacking the top power play unit is definitely big. As I'm on my pick here and I'm trying to see who I can maybe go with. I'm going to take a stab here at Jeek, number 1.
Okay. Making sure Brian doesn't complete the Kaprizov Boldy Jeek stack. I like that.
And I think it's going to sound, again, a bit on the high side, but I'm going to hope and a prayer that Timo Meier somehow gets onto that top power play. Maybe not the whole year, but I think that maybe at some point here you can kind of get back to the 65 plus point range and help me with that Luke Hughes stack. But it's definitely wish casting to think that Luke Hughes and Timo Meier are both going to get there. So,
Steve, Nason is out for a little while, so who else are they might put Dawson Mercer on the power play one, so you might not even get the chance with Timo. I don't know what it is. But I could see Timo getting back on the power play. He should be on the top power play there.
Yeah, I agree there. I really like Timo this year. I think he should get played more on the top power play than last year. But in that first practice, they did have Dawson Mercer up there. And then halfway through practice, they switched and put Timo. So I think they'll definitely try out a few things. Hopefully it sticks with Timo. But Yeah, we could just hope, especially with if Luke Hughes comes in and is that guy, then that's a lot of lefties, and Timo being a lefty, really, I think that's a big piece there. Where Stefan Nason is a right-handed shot, Dawson Mercer is a right-handed shot, Dougie Hamilton maybe 2D, he's a right-handed shot. So definitely some risk, but I like the upside for Timo Meier, of course.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on Hagel getting onto the top power play? I know they have they want Bjorkstrand on there because he's shoots right like Stamkos did. Like, is Hagel good as find his way up there?
Yeah, seeing those lines, seeing Bjorkstrand there instead of Hagel, it was a dagger to my heart. I'm higher on Hagel than a lot of people, and I think a lot of that stemmed from me thinking that they were going to stop with this Nick Paul project. They were going to stop, trotting out third liners on that top power play, and really putting Hagel up where he should be. But they're starting out with Bjorkstrand, and that really hurts me and my Hagel calls. I think since Hagel is such an even strength monster, it doesn't hurt that much. But like I had him projected for 18 power play points, and that was with 245 minutes average time on ice. So yeah, if he's on the second unit all season, then he might get like 5 power play points, and then I'll have to decrease that projection by like 13 points, and he might be a 70+ point player instead of an 80+ point player. So yeah, I drafted a lot of Hagel in this contest because his ADP was 51, and anytime he dropped after that ADP, I'm just like, I have to take him here. So I am crossing my fingers and hoping that he finds his way onto power play 1. What do you guys think? Do you think it'll happen?
Yeah. I think he will, at some points throughout the year. They have to. I mean, he's definitely the better option, although you never know what you're going to get on an Apples and Geno's podcast, and Nick Paul catching strays is one of those things. Ryan digging into him a bit. It's crazy to me. I mean, they did kind of bring Bjorkstrand in there to be that right-handed shot, and that was kind of the thought is he would be on the top power. But they're trying to replace Stamkos, and you just can't do it, so they have to stop trying to do it. But yeah, I think we always kind of think what we want for fantasy hockey, and coaches don't feel the same way. That's why I'm going to be writing Sheldon Keefe some strongly worded letters about Timo Meier. So we'll see if he reads them.
See if he gets them. I think his address might have changed. You might have to update your address book there.
Let's see. We did have a comment from Michael again. Where is Skinner going in these drafts? The answer to that is nowhere near my team. Brian, what about you? You thinking about Steve Skinner at all?
No, I was gonna say nowhere. I don't think I saw him go last time, but I might actually pick him up. To be honest, we'll see. See what goalies are available. He might be my last pick. I'm looking at the starters here. I'm not really seeing any that I like. So realistically, he's going somewhere in the last 2 rounds, if any.
Yeah, he has been going in the last 2 rounds of almost every draft if he is drafted. And I've actually been drafting him a lot as my third goalie because compared to like Logan Thompson here, Thatcher Demko, those are probably timeshare goalies, and I'm taking Stuart Skinner here in round 17. Where Stu Skinner, he's going to be boomer bust. He's either going to be Edmonton's starter if he returns to being an average goaltender, or even a below average goaltender. He'll still get like loads of starts, like more than 50 starts. And that's what I really want on my goalies in this drafters format. So yeah, I'm drafting Stuart Skinner. If he isn't, if he plays the same as last year or like same as anything in the playoffs, yeah, maybe it'll really hurt and he'll be like Tristan Jarried and sent down to the AHL for a conditioning stint or some practice. Who knows?
I mean, does he even need that? At this point, they can just release him. But Stuart Skinner, man, I don't know what the deal is because Edmonton's defense got better, and I think they played better defensively. It's just, sometimes it's crazy, like the dichotomy you see in his game. Like some games he's making these incredible saves, and other times he's literally just like, it's like he's actively trying to like misplay the puck. Like, I don't know. It's very interesting to me.
He's like Evan Bouchard playing defense. You know, he can do some highlight reel stuff, and then he just isn't all there at some point. But like, I remember listening into their like looking into the microstats of Stuart Skinner in the playoffs, and he was actually like really good. Not the year that just passed, the year before when they went to the Cup the first time around. So he has it in him. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a confidence thing with him, but maybe he does need an AHL stint to get back up.
Yeah. Okay, guys, this is the year Andrei Svechnikov stays healthy the entire season and stays on that top power play.
All right, I hear you. So you took Svech with your last pick. So this is the number 2, meaning it could be the winner, could be the ultimate winner because the number 2 won last year. So yeah, I like your team. I like your stacks. Yeah, you got Nietzsche's with McKinnon. You got Timo Meier with Luke Hughes. You took my boy Adam Fantilli. I love that. One thing I don't like about this team is that I just can't get behind Matthew Knies. Honestly, you got him at 113, which is really late and really good value if you're just looking at his ADP. His ADP is 92. But yeah, I tried to do a ceiling projection for Matthew Knies to be like, why am I not drafting him in this drafters format? Let's see. Best case scenario, what's going to happen? And I had him getting like 33 goals, 65 points, and he was like the 120th ranked skater in my drafters points. So I won't be drafting Matthew Knies unless it's in the last few rounds, but it's good value. I've seen him go at 90. I've seen him go at 80, to be honest.
Wow. Yeah, and I kind of honestly I actually prefer Fantilli over him anyways. I think I just had that back-to-back pick or whatever, so.
Yeah. Don't count.
We got fired up fantasy in here, Ryan. We need you to justify your JJ Peterka exposure.
Right now.
Well, I will. I'll tell you my secrets here. JJ Peterka, unfortunately, he's off of Power Play 1. But did you see Power Play 1 today had Sean Dursey on it instead of Mikhail Sergachev? Yeah, not Miguel. He's not from that country. Yeah, so I think they're just trying a lot of things out. I think they will try out Peterka there eventually. Yeah, my projection had him at 66 points with like some decent power play time, so I don't think he'll get there if he doesn't get his power play time. But here is my secret. So when I am drafting all these teams, JJ Peterka, I have a few of him as my like last pick in a few drafts, and it's when I use my drafters scheduling tool where I'm putting in my team as I draft, and then it points to like which teams those max game weeks the schedule lines up with my team perfectly. And on a lot of them, it was just like a Utah player will have like 2 extra unique max game weeks than anyone else you draft here. So by drafting Peterka there over anyone else, I was getting a 4-game week, 2 extra 4-game weeks from Peterka. So I'm really hoping that those 4-game weeks turn into those spike weeks for Peterka, and that is why I have quite a bit of him. It's because I was looking deep into the schedule.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. But yeah, let's take a look, Brian. Let's take a look at your team here. Oh, you got Kirill the Thrill at 8, Forsberg, Boldy, Hagel, DeBrincat, Fiala, Kadri, Barzal, Verhage, Nichushkin, Werenski, Sider, Seth Jones, Brandon Montour, Shane Gostisbehere, Dustin Wolf at 72 this time instead of 47, Sergei Bobrovsky, and can you say his name for me?
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Oh yeah, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Very nice. So this is another 2. Again, the winner was a second team drafted for the user. So this could be a winner too. Tell me what you like about this team, Brian.
Yeah, I like Kaprizov, Boldy. I was really hoping I'd get a different goalie than Wolf, but I like Wolf. But Blackwood and Gustafsson went before, and then I just couldn't justify picking up any sooner. So luckily, I still got him a little bit later. So happy with that. I'm happy with my first 5 picks. Like, of course, I think we all are. They're pretty solid. I will say what I don't like with this pick was I'm not too sure on Goss spare because he doesn't do anything else aside from get power play points. So if he's not getting power play points, it's not going to bode well for me. And I think I reached a little bit on Cider there. Those are my two knocks on this team.
All right. And now you guys can take a look at my team and rip it apart. We have Draisaitl at 5, and then Jack Hughes, Reinhardt, Jesper Bratt, Tage Thompson, Barkov, Aho, Ehlers, Tuck, Nugent Hopkins, Victor Hedman, Dougie Hamilton, Mo Riley, Vince Dunn, Tony DeAngelo, Ilya Sorokin, Jacob Markstrom, and Stu Skinner.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like the first 7 picks or 8 picks. Wow. That was incredible stuff. And then I don't know what happened. I think that grasshopper got into your ear or something and then started flapping around. And then you took Dougie Hamilton. Not a fan there. As we discussed, Nick Ehlers in the 11th there was a smash pick. You sniped Morgan Riley for me in the 12th. Alex Tuck in the 13th round is crazy business. Not a huge Vince Dunn fan. And then, we know how I feel about Stu Skinner as well. But overall, really solid team.
I think it's interesting. We talked about a little bit of a knock on Markstrom, and you still drafted him not with your last 2 picks. So that was interesting. But I love Tuck. He gives you so much value, especially you're getting points for blocks too, and he's going to block more than every other forward. And I think that's great value to get him there. So yeah, those are my comments.
Yeah, I love Tuck at his ADP in this format. I've been able to get him past pick 100 in quite a few teams, and I was able to stack him with Tage Thompson. So I like that, and he's been practicing on the top power play to start the preseason. So that's a good sign because last year he was banished to power play 2 for a lot of the season, and I really hope this season isn't the same. I think that's baked into his ADP. So if he gets power play 1, he might be a top 50, top 60 player, and you can get him at pick 100. Mm-hmm. And Markstrom, I didn't take him with my last 2 picks, but this is I have a New Jersey stack here. I have Hughes, Bratt, and then I took a Dougie Hamilton. So may as well get Jacob Markstrom on the New Jersey train as well.
Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah, no, that's pretty solid. Gentlemen, I think are we doing another one? Or are we feeling good for today? What do we think?
Yeah, maybe that was good.
Yeah. So any final comments before we hop off here?
Well, we'll hop off, but I think it's one of those things where it's the opposite of collusion. We hindered ourselves by all drafting together because we probably could have had better teams if we went into a random room. So maybe I'll have to get a few more in here. I'll be sending them to you guys for your evaluation afterwards. But yeah, love this format. Love drafters. Just really exciting that you could potentially get that top prize. So great on suggesting that, Ryan. It was a lot of fun. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just one more thing here. Michael's asking, is there a promo code? Yeah. So if you sign up, you can use promo code Cheddar, CHEDDAR, and you'll get a deposit match up to $100. You can get drafted in this championship.
Absolutely. And, we played the outro to start, and we're going to play the outro to end because we just love the outro so much. But everyone who's tuned in, thank you so much. That's all we've got for this episode. Hopefully it brought you some value and helped you get just a little bit better at fantasy hockey. Many thanks to Matt Creamer there for supplying the music for the pod. As always, we appreciate your time. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.